Shall I start? Only 7 participants. What about the rest of the 5? Good morning. Today we are going to continue our macroeconomic class. This is class 2. Today also we are continuing the same topic, themes of economics. Today we are going to discuss about two main objectives of economics. One is scarcity and another one is efficiency. Before discussing about these two themes, first of all we should know what is economics is. What is economics? This is the easiest definition that we can describe the term economics. Economics is a study of how individuals and societies use their scarce resources to satisfy their unlimited wants. What the economics trying to insist is human wants are unlimited, but sources are very limited. Suppose an individual is having 100 rupees with him. He is having two choices. One is either to buy some fruits or a biscuit. If you spend on fruits, then there will be a scarce for buying the biscuit. Similarly, in the other way, if you go for the biscuit, then within that 100 rupees, the amount will be less for the fruit. So the only thing is, with the available resources, how effectively we are spending with our, because human wants are unlimited, but the resources are very limited. That is why the word scarce is used. The scarce means it's a limiter. There is a limit for that particular available resources. So what are the resources? The thing which is used to produce goods and services. So we have to differentiate between what is goods and what is service. Buying a TV, computer, machine, fan, light, all these things, these are all the goods. But how we can able to do the service, like a lawyer, doctor, teacher, these are all the services. So before explaining about goods and services, first of all, we should know what is the difference between human want and human need. The human need is the basic three things. That's what we used to say now. Food, shelter, and clothes. All these things are necessities. It's a need. The air, food, shelter, all these things we have to survive in this globe. So we need this a basic necessity. But there are certain things. Wants. Wants means apart from these three, there are certain things which will provide comfort or luxuries. Those things are. Yeah. Anyhow, let's continue. So, shall we continue? So the difference between want and the need,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
the difference between want and need is the basic three amenities is called basic need. Apart from these three, what are all the things we are buying? It is based on the wants. The need will not change, but the want, depending upon the individual, it vary. That's why the economics insist on the human wants are unlimited, but the sources are very limited. So once we know what is the wants and need, then we should know what is goods and what is services. What are the physical things, tangible things that we are seeing? Those are goods like shoes, computer, books, table, chair, all these things. These are all goods. Then what is service? It's nothing but in order to improve the comfort of the thing. We have, for example, cleaning the house, washing the car, teaching, medical treatment, all these things coming under services. So once we understand between these two, then we are moving to the actual theme of economics, the scarcity. Most of the people think the scarcity means a shortage. It is not a shortage. It is different from the shortage. Why? Because the scarcity means there is a limited quantity of resources to meet the unlimited wants and needs. But in case of shortage, it is a situation where it is a temporarily unavailable. So shortage is not the right meaning for scarcity. Scarcity means there is a limited resources. Within that resources, we have to complete our satisfy our needs. But shortage means at that moment there are some resources is not available. We may say it is out of stock. So the difference between a shortage and the scarcity is you may be asked a section A question, distinguish between scarcity and shortage. You have to make three paragraphs. First one is the scarcity is one of the theme of economics. That is a difference between scarcity and shortage. Then the second para you can write well, scarcity means it's the limited and the quantity of resources to meet the unlimited human wants and needs. Then in the last paragraphs, you just tell about a shortage is a temporary unavailable resources for producing a particular goods or services. It's easy to mention within a big font. You can write out of stock. So once we start with the meaning of scarcity, then it is needed to know what are all the factors of production, because based on these factors of production only, we are producing all goods and services. What we mean by factors of production? It is a resources that are used to make the goods and services. There are four factors of production. One is land, the second one is labor, the third one is capital, and the fourth one is administration or entrepreneurship. This is modern economics. In current day, we have added one more factors of production we call technology. But as per our syllabus, we restrict with these four. That is land, labor, capital, and organization. Why we need these four factors of production? Because from the land we can get a lot of things like all our cultivation, minerals, oil, even all wooden products, all these things we are getting from land only. It is called natural resources. The land is nothing but the natural resources. Based on this natural resources, we have to give a shape for the particular goods based on our needs. Based on our requirement and specification, we are producing the goods. For that, we are using some machines, equipments, and using that machine and equipment, we are producing the product. This particular machine, equipment, tools, and which are all called capital resources. That is, with the availability of natural resources, we are producing a goods by using the capital resources. To connect this natural resources and the capital resources, we need a connectivity called human resources. which is otherwise called a labor force. Where the labor force is using both physical power as well as mental power and converting the raw into the finished product. So these skilled people are producing goods and services by using the natural resources with the help of capital resources. In order to administrate the natural resources, capital resources, and human resources, we need entrepreneurship. This particular entrepreneurship will give how this land labor capital are organized in order to make a profit. So this is the simplest model that we can have. For example, in a land, a cotton is produced. That particular cotton is made as a thread by the labor force. So the second one, that cotton can be converted into thread by a labor. That particular thread we are using in the machine and we are producing a cloth. That cloth will be transformed into a t-shirt. That is called entrepreneur. He is a designer. So the particular raw material cotton is the land, and the person who is producing that cotton into the thread is labor, and the capital is the sewing machine, that thread, needle, all these things are called capital resources. Using this natural resources, human resources, and capital resources, the entrepreneur is designing and he is running the business and he is producing a t-shirt. This is the simplest factor of production model. So what I was trying to say, for each factor we should price. That means there should be a return for each and every factors of production. Suppose you are using a land. For using the land you have to pay rent. When you are using a labor and when a manpower is used, you have to compensate with a wage. Similarly, for investment, we have to pay the interest, or for borrowing of money, we have to pay the interest. That is அந்த சுவிட்ச் போட பேட்டரி வரல, எடுத்துட்டு திருப்பி கரண்ட் போயிடுச்சா? சரி, ஓகே. சாரிப்பா டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ். கொஞ்சம் கரண்ட் போயிடுச்சுங்க. We will continue. For capital, we are paying the interest, and finally, for enterprises, we are earning the profit. Therefore, the remuneration for the factors of production, land, labor, capital, and organization is nothing but paying rent for land, paying wage for a labor, and paying interest for the loan received, and making a profit out of our administration. These are all called factor pricing. Based on this only, we are generating the income. So the connectivity between the factors of production and income is nothing but rent, wage, interest, and profit. And this particular thing is, this is what the actual theme of there is a limited resources with the unlimited human funds. So that creates scarcity. When scarcity is there, we should make some alternative. Which is the best alternative? We have to choose. So the choice will be in the scene. The best alternative, we used to call it as opportunity cost principle. This opportunity cost principle will give what will be the return when you invest in a particular alternative. What is the next best alternative that will give the benefit of it. When you compare these two, whether you are efficient or not, that will be proved. Suppose your decision is best compared to your next best alternative, that opportunity cost principle will indicate the second one is not up to the mark. Suppose if the second one is up to the mark, then you are making a wrong thing, you are inefficient. So that particular efficiency will make all the thing. So this particular efficiency we are discussing with the three major axioms in management. In the next class, we are going to take this particular efficiency. What we are going to discuss, there are three criteria. One is, because the human wants are unlimited and sources are limited, we have to apply these resources optimally. What we mean by optimally, it is optimum allocation of resources in order to get the highest benefit out of that particular resources. For that, we are using the concept efficiency. The three axioms are what to produce. There are n number of products. Which product we have to produce out of the given resources? what to produce is the very first basic axiom of the efficiency. Once we decided which product we are going to produce, then the next basic axiom is nothing but how to produce. First one is what to produce. Second one is how to produce. The third one is for whom to produce. So there are three categories: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. That will be in the third class. Now there are 5 minutes break will be there. All of you, please type your name in the chat box. Say present. After 10 minutes, we will continue the class. All of you.